It's always really interesting when there is some supposedly insider info on a video game and what's going on behind the scenes, and that's pretty much what's been going on with Marvel's Avengers. And of course, a couple of days ago, give or take more or less a week ago now, we did have the official statement, or the official update, if you will, regarding what's going on with the game. That wasn't the roadmap, but it was just some sort of an update. And then, like I said, we now have this supposedly insider info. So we got a lot to break down in this video. But if you have Marvel's Avengers installed still, I just want you to like this video. And if you don't, or at least if you have deleted this game at least once in the last 3 months and then potentially reinstalled it, let me know in the comment section below. But what we do have is a very, very cool sponsor. So let's roll the ad and then we'll continue into the video. So today's video is sponsored by Opera GX, and boy oh boy are they here to take over the game. Let's take a moment to press F in the comment section below to pay respects to the traditional web browsers, because Opera GX is designed and built for gamers. So what I'm trying to say is, once you download it, you will never go back. Now, there are tons of features that it has within this browser, but some of my favorites, for example, are GX Control, which ultimately enhances the performance on your PC when you're gaming with your browser open and whilst you're listening to music. So if you're playing games or streaming whatever, it just literally eliminates the lag. And it's perfect, especially if you're like me and you have tons of tabs open and you never know which one is which. You don't have to sacrifice your tabs anymore, because what this does is it allows you to keep those tabs open when you don't want your browser to hurt your gaming performance. Now, the panel lets users limit the CPU or RAM that they are willing to basically let their browser use, and that's what ultimately gets rid of that stuff. It is super cool. You also have something called the network limiter, where you can limit the network bandwidth that's used by Opera GX browser to gain performance in games and streams. It's incredible. Now, you also have a few different things as well, like the customization. That's a game changer, right? So the assets in Opera GX are inspired by neon lights and how they break the darkness of the night. So you can customize the browser with your particular themes, wallpapers, colors, you get the idea. It is absolutely incredible, and it's so easy to set up as well. Then you have the GX Corner, which again is just a complete game changer, because you can stay up to date with free games, right? But then also the best deals, the newest releases, and breaking game news, all in one easily accessible place. So you can easily switch between platforms and also see the upcoming games in the release calendar. Now, last but not least, this is when things get even more exciting. If you thought, how on earth is Opera GX going to top my experience? Well, they've come to mobile. So Opera GX is also on mobile. It's called the GX Mobile, and it can be connected to the desktop version, and it is just an absolute game changer. It really, really is. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and download Opera GX with my link in the description below. It's free to download. It is designed and built for us gamers. So there is a there's probably like a 0.001% chance that you would want to go ahead and return back to another browser, is what I'm trying to say. So do not miss out on getting in on this right now. The link is in the description below. It's incredible. Let's continue into the video. So, like I said, this insider info about what's coming next is supposedly the whole element on, okay, this game still will have content. Now, before I get into that stuff, Paul Tassi has returned with an update in regards to his whole speculation and theories on what's going on. So let's start off with that, because it's important that we also talk about the update that the game issued, of course, about the things on the way. Now, we're definitely in that situation where I'm sure you can easily say Marvel's Avengers and someone will say, is that game still going? What's actually going on with that game? Now, what we do know is that the roadmap that was initially promised was, we're way overdue that, may I just add, but it was initially said that we would get that more or less before the end of 2021. Like I said, we're in March, which is crazy, may I add. So the fact that we've not even had like some sort of slight teaser regarding what's potentially coming this month, and we're actually now relying on leaks and, again, potentially insider info, it just shows you what's going on. 2023, I cannot see this game getting any content at all, but let's break down with what's going on. So the current status of Marvel's Avengers, according to Crystal Dynamics, is as follows. So we have patch 2.3, which is on the way and is initially initially planned to release this month, so we're talking March. Nick Fury is returning to lead S.H.I.E.L.D., though he's an NPC, not a new playable hero, and he still will be coordinating the future Avengers Initiative missions, though no specific missions are revealed. There will be a large rework of the war table in terms of how players select mission meant to reduce leveling frustration and be more clear for new players. This will also create more concentrated matchmaking pools for high level players. I'm not a high level player, in all honesty. I'll just throw it out there. As much as I try to be, it really doesn't bother me who I get matched with, because I still bring the exact same to the table pretty much at this stage. Then what it says is they will be balancing gear perks and make gear sets earnable through a wider range of activities. Okay, I would take that, because again, when it comes down to unlocking things in this game, and I do just want to throw one more thing in here actually before we continue. The fact that Spider-Man was technically that last big hero and whatever, the skins in this game have still been going. Like, if there's one thing that this game has weirdly been thriving off, it is the skins. Like, they'll post a tweet of a new skin on a hot character, i.e. Spider-Man, and when I say a hot character, I mean someone that's still in their prime that people actually care for, right? Those tweets do well. Like, it just shows you, and it makes you wonder, oh, okay, so we still have an engaged community? Is that what's going on? But again, you can't really, just thrive off skins in a video game. That's just insane. There's still got to be good content. But going back to making things earnable, I mean, a wider range of activities, it just makes things more fun in the game. But hey, it depends what those activities are going to be, because if it's doing the same things like 10 times over, then it's just pointless. Just don't do it, in all honesty. But continuing that list, it says after the addition of shipments, there are going to be more units rewarded through end game activities. I'll take that. Then Mega Hives will now give one exotic per character per week rather than per account, similar to the changes made to the Omega level threat and the raid. And then it says there will be a live stream about 2.3, as in patch 2.3, before the release, and they can't wait to share more about our long-term plans, implying that in fact, of course, there are long-term plans. Now, when they say they can't wait to share more about their long-term plans, I mean, so far they've waited quite some time, so actually I think they can wait. I think they can possibly just wait potentially until the end of the year at this point. Okay, which is why I asked that question at the start where I said, do you even think this game will have that one hotshot chance again where it just comes back in the spotlight, even if it is for one character or just something that the game has to offer? Will it actually gain relevance for a short period of time ever again, or is it done and dusted? Like, that's the legitimate question. But again, let's get into that the all-important insider info. Now, the insider info about what's coming is supposed to be the idea that the next hero is going to be a mirror version of an existing character. So someone like Jane Foster or Yelena Belova, who will share parts of their kit with their counterpart. Now, after that, the next fully new hero is She-Hulk, allegedly timed to possibly line up with the launch of her Disney Plus show in 2022. Now, okay, when it comes down to a next main character, in this case being She-Hulk, that's completely legit, because again, remember, the voice actor confirmed that herself, so when you take that stuff into account, it's not a leak anymore, it's actually just legitimate confirmation. There's no way you can pretty much look at that and say, well, it's still 50-50. So if that's the next big hero, how many people are going to really, return back to the game based on that one character? Again, you got to be realistic, because Black Panther and Spider-Man were two big characters, but let's be honest, how much of an impact did those characters make in terms of, rekindling a player base? We've seen those stats. We saw Black Panther did it pretty much. I mean, Black Panther, bear in mind, when that character was released, the game was not on its, well, it was on its last legs, but right now, the last legs are still wobbling, and they're wobbling like crazy. So when Spider-Man came out, again, you take a look at that, and that was an exclusive, right? Bear in mind, that was an exclusive. So really, the last time we've had an actual character where all platforms have had it would literally be Black Panther, which is, what, like 7 months ago? It can't be 7 months ago. Maybe 8 months ago? Maybe less. I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy, but it's been a long time. Now, going back with the timelines, with i.e. She-Hulk in 2022, lining up with the Disney Plus show. Again, it doesn't really make 100% sense. I mean, it does make sense, but in terms of the roadmap, it doesn't make sense because we don't know what this roadmap looks like. And I mean, look, things like we've still got to wait for, i.e. things like patrol mode, like that was on the roadmap within itself, within a sole category. So you take that stuff into account, and then it really gets you wondering, okay, well, how extensive is this roadmap? Now, the point is, rather than figuring out how to produce content more quickly, it literally honestly seems things may be moving in the complete opposite direction, and this is spoken by the words of Paul Tassi. Okay, so word by word, he's saying things may seem to be moving in the opposite direction as Crystal Dynamics begins work on other projects like helping the initiative with Xbox Perfect Dark Game. And that stuff's crazy because you can't really deny the fact that, I mean, I don't know what their purpose was with this game. If I have to be completely honest with you, from the launch to where we are right now, and even things still going on with the game, I think as a consumer, you can't really not feel like it was a cash grab that's pretty much just coming to an end. Although I wouldn't like to say that's the case, because again, like a cash grab is literally just only taking money and not actually delivering on things, right? So I guess it would be a cash grab if they were solely focusing on skins, but then it's not being a cash grab and still people are purchasing stuff in the game and people are buying the game, and I guess it's still content for somebody who's not played the game. So I don't know, there's always going to be that debate on, was this game always meant to, be positioned to be a cash grab? Is that coming to an end? Is that going to continue to thrive if it was meant to be a cash grab, basically just solely on things like skins in the game? I mean, what's going on? That's a big question. But really, if I have to give you my professional, honest opinion on where I see things going, if this is how 2022 is going so far with the content that's being implemented into the game, and not just content, exciting content being implemented into the game, then 2023 is pretty much a year just to wrap this game up. As in, literally, I think the plug that we've been so mythically discussing a month after this game was released, the fact that it was going to be pulled and it still hasn't been pulled, I honestly believe if the game still has content in 2023, then they've got to be making a killing on the skins. So that's the only reason why that game would get content. But again, that's my opinion on it. You are entitled to your own, so please do get in the comments below. Let's have a discussion about this. But it's interesting, it's exciting, and it's sad because it's a shame. Like, this game had so much potential, and I still believe it does, but now I just don't believe it honestly would even have the funding allocated to try and rekindle the game. Because if somebody gave you a big enough budget, someone can bring this game back to life. Like, literally, you just gotta have the right budget and know exactly what's going on. But it's definitely got to that stage where things just aren't being funded anymore, just point blank. But guys, that's gonna wrap up this video here. Again, don't forget to check out Opera GX, which is today's sponsor. The link is in the description below. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.